How do I identify CPU socket types for PC compatibility? Imagine building a computer where every part fits perfectly, like pieces of a puzzle coming together. The key to this is knowing the right CPU socket type. Let's walk through how to identify it so your components work smoothly. First, think of the CPU socket as the connector on the motherboard where the processor sits. It's designed to match specific CPUs, so compatibility depends on this match. There are mainly two types of sockets based on how the pins are arranged. The first is called LAN grid array, or LGA. In this design, the pins are on the motherboard socket, and the CPU has flat contact pads. Intel mostly uses LGA sockets like LGA 115.1, LGA 1200, and LGA 1700. These are 4 different generations of Intel processors. The second type is pin grid array, or PGA. Here, the pins are on the CPU, and the socket has holes to match those pins. AMD often uses PGA sockets such as AM for 4 Ryzen processors. This setup makes it easier to install the CPU but requires careful handling to avoid bending the pins. There is also ball grid array, or BGA, where the CPU is soldered directly onto the motherboard. This is common in laptops and small devices but not used in custom PC builds because you cannot upgrade or replace the CPU easily. To find out what socket your CPU or motherboard uses, start by checking the product documentation. The manual or packaging will specify the socket type clearly. You can also use software tools like CPUZ, a free program that shows detailed information about your processor, including the socket type. If you prefer to look physically, the socket type is often printed near the CPU slot on the motherboard. Alternatively, searching online with your CPU or motherboard model number on the manufacturer's website will give you detailed specifications. Remember, the CPU and motherboard must have matching socket types to work together. For example, a processor designed for LGA 1200 will not fit into an LGA 1100 socket. Similarly, AMD's AM for CPUs will not fit on an AM5 motherboard. When building a custom PC, double-checking the socket type before purchasing parts saves time and prevents compatibility issues. It also makes future upgrades easier, as new CPUs often requiring the same socket generation. So, in simple terms, identify the socket by understanding whether it's LGA or PGA, verify the exact model through documentation or software, and ensure the CPU and motherboard match perfectly. This way, your build will be stable, and your system will run smoothly from the start.